Thank you, Deputy
Okay.
Mayor.
All right. Let me hear about it.
Greenwich Township Committee meeting, January 2nd, 2014. Members present, Bayleys?
Yes.
Emiliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Solari?
Here.
Toriello?
Here.
We'll do the flag salute and open public meeting at the regular meeting.
Okay, do you want to just provide for the record that the notice?
You want me to do
Yeah, please.
Sunshine Law? Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance by the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing the schedule of the Township Committee to the Express Times and North Star Ledger newspaper, posting a copy on the Township Bulletin Board, and filing a copy with the Township Clerk.
Can I have...
We're going into executive session regarding
litigation, COA, contract negotiations, police and DPW, and discussions on tax collector
personnel.
and personnel.
All right, motion to go in executive?
Make the motion.
Second.
Bayleys?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Solari?
Yes.
Toriello?
Yes.
Okay.
Turn this off, right?
Okay, we're recording.
Okay, can I have a motion, please, to come out of executive session?
I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, now, can I have a motion?
Let me open the door.
Okay.
Then we
Yes.
can start already.
Yeah.
I'm just writing it down.
Now we're going to have our official.
Okay, can I have a motion authorizing Deputy Mayor Tom Kalari and police?
We're not ready for that yet. We have to close that and open up the regular meeting.
To do the
We're
minutes.
And
starting
do the
now.
Pledge of Allegiance and the whole nine yards. Let's start all over again.
Oh,
I have to do the motions first. We're coming out executive. We gotta take action first.
No, you have to...
No, we have to do the other part, Joe, because
We
we
have
have to start the meeting.
official new
first
meeting.
statement. It's all right, man.
First time we've ever done this.
Okay.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna
I know, I was
Okay.
confused
We're gonna
as to
catch
what
you
we
up.
had to
Okay.
do, and then
All right, okay,
I
all
thought
right.
about it. Okay, so Mayor, do you want to call the meeting to order?
Okay, apparently, at this time, I'd like to call the regularly scheduled January 2nd, 2014 Greenwich Township Committee to order.
Okay. Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing a schedule of the Township Committee to the Express Times and North Star Ledger newspaper, posting a copy on the Township Bulletin Board, and filing a copy with the Township Clerk. All rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Bayleys?
Here.
Emiliani? Here. Adams?
Here.
Polari?
Here.
Toriello?
Here.
Okay, there is no payment of bills and claims, however, Mayor Toriello wanted to speak about bill paying. Did I get this last word
You
right?
did. You did.
Thank you,
But
Webster's Dictionary.
I want to take, can I take
No,
action
it's
for this,
procedural.
for the executive?
I was
Before we go any
I
further,
don't want to forget.
I don't want to forget, I want to address what was discussed in executive session, and I'd like to call for a motion authorizing Deputy Mayor Kalari and Police Liaison, together with Township and Labor Attorney Frank Taddeo, to discuss, we'll review, negotiate, and discuss police contract.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Comment? Roll call.
Bayleys?
Yes.
Emiliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Polari?
Yes.
Toriello?
Yes. I would also like to make a motion authorizing Township and Labor Attorney Frank Taddeo to address the DPW contract consistent with the terms discussed in executive session.
In December 2013 and January 2nd, 2014.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Comment? Roll call.
Bayleys?
Yes.
Emiliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Polari?
Yes.
Toriello?
Yes. And finally, a motion authorizing Township Clerk to make contact with Jersey Professional Management regarding procurement of a temporary tax collector until such time that we can identify a permanent replacement.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Comment? Roll call.
Bayleaf,
yes,
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. Okay, with respect to payment of bills and claims, although we don't have any bills, you know what? Given the fact that the snow is coming down, let's table that till the next meeting. It's not, we can wait. For the record, there is nobody present in the room, so I'm not going to call for a motion to open up the meeting for public comment. Moving to next matter, I would, with respect to mayoral appointments, I'd like to appoint as alternate one for the Board of Adjustment, Brett Rothrock, with the unexpiring term ending on 12/31/14, and Lisa Tavares to the Environmental Commission, with her term expiring 12/31/15. And then if I can have a motion for the appointment, Township Committee appointment of Recycling Coordinator Kevin Devane, with his term expiring 12/31/2014.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Comment? Roll call.
Bayleaf,
yes,
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. And then, it appears that in our reorganization meeting yesterday, in establishing a Highlands COA task force, that we had too many members of the planning board, which meant that we would have unwittingly had a planning board meeting every time the Highlands COA task force got together. In order to rectify that, the thought is to place Jim Adams on the Highlands COA task force and remove Elaine, who serves on the planning board, and Elaine can serve as my alternate on the task force, and then that would address
In the event of your absence, that's it.
Right, and that would address the concern. So, can I have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Comment? Roll call.
Torriello?
Yes.
Bayleaf,
yes,
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Okay, and then finally, I don't know if the resolution's here. Resolution, can I have a motion adopting Resolution 2014-27, authorizing the township engineer to apply for a water quality management planning pass-through grant? Do I need to read the number?
Yes.
604B?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Comment? Roll call.
Bayleaf,
yes,
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Lorick?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes.
Can you send this off to Mike?
I'm going to send this to Mike.
This has
yeah.
to do with our wastewater management plan for the whole town, for the sewer and all.
Okay, and I think we can skip Resolution 28, because we did that at reorg, right?
No.
We didn't.
No, well, see, we have a situation here, and I just spoke about this before you got here. At the reorg meeting, we did a resolution for Bob Canese,
Yes.
okay, as our open space advisor.
Mhm.
But I think I had it through there as conservation resource,
His name of his company changed.
yes. His name, so what I would suggest that the township committee do is to make a motion to adopt 28 and to,
Rescind?
rescind the one that we did, and I can quick run it and get that.
Let's rescind it first and then adopt.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well-
let me just quick get that. We have a customer. Sherry's here.
Hey!
We'll talk with you in a minute, Sherry, okay?
You might have to drive me home.
Loyal taxpayer.
It's fair out there.
Yeah, I know.
They haven't canceled school yet, though. They will. They will, it's
Yeah,
Mary.
Clinton's built.
Yeah. Okay, because it was Resolution 2013-25,
Yes.
and that was a contract for an open space advisor, and we just have Bob Canese. But, so let's rescind 2013-25,
14.
Kim?
14.
or
Kim,
14.
Yeah, but all of your resolutions are 2013. From
Which one?
21 on? 20 on? 19 on, 17 on? I'm sorry.
What?
Looks like 17 forward.
That were in there?
Everything's 2013.
Okay, I'll go back and make changes. Maybe it was when I quick came back here yesterday before the meeting.
Well, we
The packet,
said
you
on the
have the
record
14.
14.
Everything is 14,
But
so
the
I will...
actual resolutions
Yes,
may
but
have
it
had
was
13 on
Resolution
them.
25, which was on the agenda, 2014-25, authorizing the award of contract as open space advisor to Robert Canese.
But no company was,
No.
okay.
I mean, we can keep this when it just says Robert Canese, but then this one for 28 is more in depth. I mean, you could keep 28, I guess, if you want. It's sort
It's
of...
more hiring his company.
It's saying Robert Canese with his firm.
First of all, Frank, I read into the record the called for a vote to adopt resolutions 2014, and then I read the numbers. What I said on the record was correct. It turns out that some of the attachments are incorrect. They say 2013.
Which is
Can that
clerical.
just be treated as a clerical error, and she could simply retype them consistent with what we voted on and adopted, or do we have to address it in some other fashion?
No, I think you could just do it, administrative, you could do an administrative resolution if you want, just doing a resolution saying that it was already done, but it's just for
Okay.
clerical purposes, the years are adopted, from 13 to 14.
Got it, that's what I'll do.
Yep.
Okay, so first, before we go any further, I'd like to call for a motion authorizing the township clerk to undertake to correct an administrative error, to review all resolutions that were part of the reorganization meeting, and anywhere that the resolution incorrectly says 2013, that she be authorized to change it to 2014.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Comment. Roll call.
Bayleys?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Florrie?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. Okay, now, with respect to Resolution 2014-25, which was incorrectly labeled as 2013-25, can I have a motion to rescind that resolution?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Comment. Roll call.
Bayleys?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Florrie?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. And now, can I have a motion adopting Resolution 2014-28, which is also incorrectly typed as 2013-28?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Authorizing the award of a contract for open space consulting.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
Comment. Roll call.
Yes.
Bayleys?
You didn't call me, but I'll say yes.
You did say yes.
Miliani? Adams?
Yes.
Florrie?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. I know that we are committed this year to having a budget adopted sooner rather than later. I think this year more than ever it's critical, because to the extent that there's a shortfall and we have what I believe to be somewhat of a financial crisis in terms of a shortfall, identifying that in July or August, you lose the window of opportunity of being able to save money. So, inconsistent with having 2 meetings a month and working diligently to get the budget done, I also wanted to put on the agenda tonight to take everybody's temperature and see whether it would be appropriate to have the Township Committee authorize me to send a memo to all departments suspending all discretionary spending until such time as a budget is approved. And I know that Lorraine seemed to take issue with the phrase of discretionary spending. Quite honestly, I don't think it's appropriate to be talking in CFO speak. I think people need to understand discretionary spending means if it's not absolutely critical to and necessary to the day-to-day operation, they are not to put in a purchase order. Is really what I think, we need to do right now, until such time that we get a budget that the Finance Committee is comfortable in presenting to us And I think that if you guys are working diligently to find cost-saving measures, and they're out engaging in discretionary spending, it seems to be counterintuitive.
Outside of salt and grit, I agree.
Right.
Can I just say that somehow it got changed a little bit from when we had the purchase orders through the system, when the person had to, because I was the third person to give an approval before anything could be purchased, the requisition. What's happening is I'm having people come in with requisitions with invoices attached and, and things like this, and asking me to sign off. It's already been done. I think in your memo, every department, prior to any spending of anything, they have to bring the paperwork into me,
So the
No
money
purchase-
had to be encumbered.
and
No
I will
purchasing
clear
without
it
a
with the
purchase order.
CFO, that
Money
there's
has to
money
be
available.
encumbered.
Well-
And plus, then I can make the decision, because one year, it was the end of the year, there was money in the police budget, the chief came in with the paperwork to buy a camera. And I knew
And
we had
laptops.
already bought the camera, what was budgeted for it, and he had extra money, and I said, no.
Okay, here's the thing. We addressed this in 2012,
Yeah.
which means that it's just being ignored. And that
Yeah.
was actually one of the things I wanted to table when I said
Yeah.
to discuss the payment. That's really what I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to take it one step further. I think the memo's going to say, I think we have to do this. Anything that's purchased
Right.
before a purchase order is sent, no matter whether it's necessary or not, must be returned. They need to learn the hard way that you can't beg for forgiveness, even if it's critically necessary. It has to be returned because it was not purchased in accordance with the process.
Right.
And I think that you should review that. I see Sherry's here, who may be involved in reviewing purchase, no, you're not reviewing purchase orders yet.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get back to the way
do.
it was in the system, that if I wanted to buy something, or DPW, they had to go in and put it in as a request. CFO took that, checked
Yeah.
the request, made sure there was money there, and then I was the third one prior to a purchase order even going.
Yeah, well,
And there was
actually,
none of
not,
it done.
I'm not entirely sure that a purchase without encumbering the funds in a public sector is even legal.
Well,
So,
yeah, exactly, John,
and
this
you
is
have
what-
to encumber the funds because municipalities can never be bouncing checks.
We need to
So-
get back into the admin system, and people need to...
We're back to the F-10 override.
Well, we're doing it a little different. We're not even going that far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, so, yeah.
All
So-
departments know how to do it.
Let's go back to them. We need to discuss. It's my understanding that, and Frank, this is where, like, I don't know what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Last year, it was public knowledge I would not sign a purchase order because I did not have any faith in the financial controls or lack thereof, and Kim's now just given an example of why my concern was correct. And the discussion came, well, you're voting, you're signing, if you don't sign, how does something get paid? And it's my understanding that when something is presented on an agenda and a township committee votes on it, the signature on the purchase order, the way we've been doing it, has become perfunctory. It's irrelevant because we voted and authorized the payment. It seems to me that we're putting the cart before the horse, that we need to get back to a system of a purchase order is a request. It's not an evidence of something that's already occurred. It should be a documentation of somebody's wishes, hopes, and desires.
Not to handle it how a professional would get their bills paid. The vendor submits a bill, a voucher goes out to them, they sign the voucher, they send it back, and then the payment's issued by check.
Right.
It's really a PR, a purchase
It's gonna be the same
request.
thing, because or else you're just gonna have people just, writing checks, and like you said, if it's not already encumbered in the budget, you're gonna have a problem at some point.
Yeah. Now,
It's a purchase request
I
translated to
actually
a
think
purchase order.
our purchase order, because the industry mandates that we call them purchase orders, I think that the term order is giving people false understanding. I'd like to have on our purchase order in big bold font say purchase request.
Well,
And-
Well, there is
she
a-
has two things
It
going.
should be a purchase
There is a
request that
purchase request.
translates to a purchase order.
I mean, I don't know if you want to go through the full process, but you want
This is what-
the request and the approval to be in place.
It's a purchase requisition, right?
And this is what's happening.
This translates into the purchase order.
What's happening is, or say I get a quote, say John Halkinson for a quote with tires. He comes in with the quote, he attaches it to this as the vendor,
As a request.
and he's saying, it's X amount of money. So, say that's road department requesting it, then he's asking me to buy it. How am I approving something I don't know if there's money for?
This should go to Lorraine and to translate into an actual purchase
But we
order once the
actually-
funds are
Here's
verified.
paperwork. We actually have a software package. Yes, we do. That has step 1, 2, 3.
And that's what we...
Why aren't we using
And
that?
that's our
encumbrance
1, 2,
system.
3. It's not this.
Yeah, no, it is.
Item the number 3 that gives it the
Okay,
approval.
here's one thing we have to do.
That's
2014-04 is a policy and procedures on how to purchase. It does not meet the standards that we are talking about. We need to rescind it tonight, and
Everything else is
John, and Frank Taddeo and Joe have to talk about this, and, because Jim and I had, being on the finance committee, had just,
Yeah.
looked at it and said, this doesn't meet the requirements that we've had in place in the past.
As a committee, I don't mean to cut you off, but as a committee, we've done two things. One is we authorized temporary budget of 26.5%. Second is we put 2014-04, the correct numbers, as pretty much a wide open policy.
This is how much money we have
Can you
right
get
now.
that policy and procedure
it's right
out? Oh, okay, you got it, Jim.
I have it. What I emailed to you guys
I've done,
was 14 now, just so you know.
an ordinance, I believe I've done before, which basically spells out that if the officer of the township, or whoever needs services or goods, the stuff they have to put in the purchase order has to be, obviously the vendor, the description, services, how much they have to encumber, and then, and which budget it's coming from, if they have various, items at their disposal. Then what has to happen, if that purchase order has to comport with state law as well, because there is law that governs this, obviously, in 40A. Then what they have to do is approve it either by Lorraine or whoever her designee is, if it's Kim, whoever it is. And then only after that approval can they order, and spend that money. So that's the process that's recognized everywhere else.
Where's 04?
04. This is it.
Well, I thought you wanted the temporary budget.
No, the
Okay.
temporary budget's okay, the sewer utility budget temporary is okay, it's that one, on
All right, I'm
purchases.
sorry.
It's 04.
And there is no indication of encumbrances, of timing.
I'm
We need to amend
This needs to
that.
be rescinded.
I'd like to, I actually would like to make a motion rescinding Resolution 2014-04.
Oh, you're going to make it?
I will.
Yeah, I'll second it.
I'll
If I want a second.
Have 3 seconds.
All right, wait. All right, so
Or 4, if D'Angelo's on
2014-04
board.
is rescinded. Okay.
Mhm.
And who made the motion?
I did.
Joe did.
And let the record reflect.
Okay,
Lane, Tom, and I.
There's no policy, Angelo. The problem is the resolution really authorizes nothing. It doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Can I
So do you want me to
recommend-
send it away?
I agree with everything you're saying, and I brought this up, I couldn't believe when I came into this, how things are being done, because, one of my specialties is software, and, we've never used all the segments of Edmonds. If it was being used properly,
Right.
we wouldn't have this issue. And just because people don't want to use it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be, people shouldn't be made to use it. In a township, you have, basically a set amount of money that's coming in. In my business, I didn't have that, and I was able to do it. I don't see why this can't be done, and it should be able to be done. And if you make up your mind you're going to do it, you should be able to do it. So I agree with everything he's saying.
I would recommend that paper requisition.
Wait, we're in the middle of a motion.
Oh.
So,
okay.
roll call.
Dailies?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Florrie?
Yes.
Triolo?
Yes.
The paper requisition should be voted that we are not to use that. And you should motion that the electronic, the software,
I
is
got
to
it.
be utilized effective immediately.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I got it.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to rescind the purchase requisition process that has been utilized, and in its place, require the immediate utilization and implementation of the Edmunds purchase order / requisition encumbrance system, effective immediately.
I'll make that motion? Did you make it?
No, Joe made it.
Oh, you made
Heard
it?
it? No, I thought
Oh,
that
you said-
was
I'll make the motion.
Second.
comment. Roll call.
Thales,
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Valori?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. And then I'd like to make a motion authorizing Township Attorney Frank Tadeo to prepare an ordinance reflecting the new Greenwich Township purchase order requisition encumbrance policies and procedures.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Comment. Roll call.
Thales,
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Valori?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. You can have it all, because I don't know what's mine and yours.
I have extras.
Here, okay.
Do you need authorization to send that letter to the departments?
Yes, can I have a motion authorizing me to prepare a memo to all departments instructing them on the new policies and procedures for encumbrance, as well as advising them that all discretionary spending is suspended until further
I'll
notice.
make the motion.
I'll second.
Comment, roll call.
Thales,
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams? Valori?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. Now, just quickly with respect to technology, we're already utilizing the paperless system. Again, unless somebody doesn't want a paper copy, I get the sense Kim will be providing hard copies at the meetings as well, only they won't be in booklet form. She will do what's traditionally done when things are scanned in. She'll do a paper tab, so it'll be one packet that'll be PDF'd. Everybody can look at it in advance. No exceptions. All agenda items have to be in the Friday before the Thursday meeting. And then no exceptions. Kim will send out an electronic copy on the Monday. By close of business Monday, everybody will have a full 3 days to review before the meeting. Add-on items Kim will never be put in a position where she says, I couldn't get the agenda out because I was waiting. There's no waiting. She's going to get it out on Monday. We have meetings every 2 weeks. If it doesn't make it, it'll go on for the next meeting.
Joe?
Yeah.
Did you want a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make the motion to have, I think, agenda items in Friday prior to meetings and agenda distributed to all committee members by Monday, close of business.
Perfect.
We should say a time, 12 o'clock,
End of
not
business.
5 o'clock on a Friday
Friday
afternoon.
high noon,
End of
everybody
business.
knows.
Friday high noon.
Okay.
Friday night.
Okay. So who wants to make that motion? Jim's motion as Jim made the motion as amended by Elaine.
I'll second.
Okay. Comment, roll call.
Thales,
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Valori?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. Also, he would like to discuss authorizing the complete implementation and delivery of a new township webpage by February 15th at the latest. I think it could be done if we authorize Cindy Carrigan. I received a price quote from her. She will redo the entire webpage from beginning to end for no more than $2,500. And then we'll also do all daily maintenance. She charges an hourly fee of $35. And she will take care of everything. And it'll be completely redone. And what I would like to do is just to be working with Cindy. We can develop changes, and then just go online with it. And then to the extent that we have any tweaks or changes, it's a work in progress. So we don't have to delay it. I don't want this to get into a paralysis by analysis, and we're debating what to do, and it's October. We can all agree that the current webpage is an embarrassment. Let's get rid of it, and let's have her up and running. The other thing I'd like to do in this motion authorizing Cindy is develop a policy where we're going to archive all meetings into an archive, so that we don't take unnecessary bandwidth. So we'll keep the new year meetings on, and we'll archive the old.
I would like to ask that we keep the pictures of the 2006 snow day on.
You got it. We'll do that. I'll make sure that the 2006 snow day will stay out as a memorial. That's funny, Tom.
Angelo has to update his bio, right? Did you...
So, well, no, Angela's on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Angela's on there, and I'm on there, and Tom's on there.
Oh, so it's just me and...
Yeah, and Cindy says she has your picture, Elaine, and your picture, Jim, but she needs bios from you guys.
Already done.
So once, and, you know, if you have her email, great. If not, send it to me, and I'll send it to her, and she'll update, she'll make those changes immediately. And then, I guess with the motion authorizing me to work with Cindy, we'll get the new web page up.
That's your...
And then we'll let
one of
Dave
your...
Moore know he's cut off.
Yes.
Somebody has to.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Who, did you say something?
I said second.
Okay.
Roll call.
Bailey's,
Yes.
Miliani,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Florrie.
Yes.
Torriello.
Yes.
Joe, I had
Any other?
a related item,
Yes, sir.
which was township email addresses all tied into that website.
You know, let's talk about that. Thank you, because I know you want everybody to use the same website, the same web, email address.
And
I was given a greenwichtownship.org.
That is
when
correct.
And there was some reason why I didn't use it.
Because you had to go on web search first through the internet to get it. Whereas Jim, though, can show you how you can just go into
Microsoft
Outlook.
Yeah. Just as some
What happens
background.
if you don't have Microsoft Outlook, which I don't
What
have?
do you
Any
have?
POP server, you can
get
configure
it on our
this.
phones that way without forwarding it to
Here's the
ourselves?
other
I have it running on my iPad
Can I just, I'll
You
just
can
make,
configure
I'll just
this.
make one comment here.
to work.
I would like to know from Frank what the ramifications are based on a paperless agenda moving forward if the greenwich.orgs are necessary. My understanding is that it may be necessary for meeting the criteria set forth by the state of New Jersey on, Oprah.
We're talking about email addresses?
Yeah, with a paperless agenda and us trying to archive everything.
Well, we're going to, if you save it, it's no different than having a paper copy that you're going to scan it and save it to the system. So if you have it scanned and saved to the system, if it's ever needed, you can just print it off the system and produce it in Oprah if they want a paper copy of it, unless they want it emailed to them.
Right, but if we all use the greenwich.org, then we're not subject to personal Oprah requests. It's all, our stuff is all on greenwich.org.
I've done these lawsuits for the GRC, which is the Government Records Council.
Yeah,
If you use your personal email addresses for government business, that's all subject to Oprah.
Right, that's why I'm saying the
Yeah, you're right.
greenwich.org
It would
is...
be easier from a record keeping perspective, and that's why even though if there's any emails that are going to be deleted in the future of any past, we have to keep an archive of those emails, even if we get rid of the email address. That goes for personal addresses as well.
Well, let me just clarify.
Yeah.
I set up Joseph Torriello at gmail.com.
Right.
It doesn't have a .org ending.
Or greenwich.
Or Greenwich,
It doesn't matter.
but it is not personal. I don't send any personal email from that. I use my personal email address, which if somebody made an Oprah request, they couldn't get, because it's not township business. If I'm writing my daughter and I say, "I love you, Zoe," they don't have a right for that. That's my personal life.
That's correct. That's correct. What I'm saying is, if you have it, say for instance you had your personal email address, Joe Torriello, whatever it is, at Gmail.
Yep.
And you did personal business and you did township business on it.
Right.
The township records are obviously there's personal records that aren't going to be produced because they're irrelevant to whatever the record
Right.
is. But that's the problem with mixing your business and your pleasure with personal.
Right, and all I'm saying to Jim and Elaine is, what I did was I built a Chinese wall by creating a private email only to the extent that it doesn't say greenwich.org.
Right. No, and that's fine. That's what I'm saying. A lot of
They can have whatever they want on there. In fact,
only four, I think 350 towns out of the 577 or 566 or other numbers. I think only about a little over half have emails for the town or municipality that they represent.
but what I did hear what Elaine said that now is piquing my interest in, if I do a .org and it's maintained on our system, and somebody makes an Oprah request for my emails,
Already there.
I don't have to respond to it. I can have the webmaster take care of it. So I can wipe my hands like Pontius Pilate, as opposed to having to go through my Gmail. So I like that. Now my question is this: can I take all my Gmail emails and transport them into the Gov?
When you're talking
Email.
with Cindy?
Well, you have to physically forward them in there by batches, 25 at a time or 100 at a time.
Okay.
Whatever you do. I don't know how many emails we're talking.
All right, now you sold me the buy-in, because
As some background on the whole website, the
The
naming
biggest problem that I
convention.
have with it, and I decided to do it right away, almost right away, just maybe a couple of weeks after I got on the council. What happened was, on my computer, I had a choice up at the top to either use my personal or my Greenwich address. Okay, so in the beginning I was okay. All of a sudden, once in a while, I would forget to change it. Okay, so suddenly now I'm sending a Gmail, or I'm using Gmail versus Greenwich Township, and now it's crossing one versus another. So now, all of a sudden now, once in a while, I'm sending the Gmail, and people are sending it back to Gmail.
Yeah.
So now it's all polluted. So although I try to continue to use it, at some point someone might want to ask about something, and so who knows, they may want to look at my Gmail account. So.
But on the iPhone, you could just go through your Exchange server or whatever, and it'll sync up in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Could you also do that, because I couldn't get it on the Exchange.
Yeah,
On
so-
Outlook, it's a little more difficult.
The background on this is we wanted to have a way, and you could use this today, for websites. I want to talk to the financial person at Greenwich. Whoever it was, used the same naming convention, CFO at greenwichtownship.org, okay? Their email accounts were operable, as well as the elected officials with the full name, Jim Adams or Joseph Torriello. You got a Kim. You have areas, purchasing at greenwichtownship.org, DPW, so it wasn't a name of a person, went to a department, and that got fired out to the right person, okay? So there was consistency across all members of the township. Everyone was greenwichtownship.org. You can control it seamlessly with your
2008.
website. That was in 2008, that, it was all set up. And some still make use of it. It's a good thing.
I have 3 different emails.
Well, the nice thing
into
about
one
that,
thing.
too, is you create
You
history
set
and a
that up.
historical basis, so as people come and go.
Sewer
What I
guy.
do.
Yeah.
So, like, all
They're gonna
right.
help us
So
develop on our...
so if you'd like a motion, Mayor.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we,
Make the motion.
go make the motion.
Motion hug.
No, make the motion, sir.
No, I was going to do, for email addresses to be effective at a certain point in time. But when do we, if you like the concept of the .org, I don't know, do you want to have a motion that enforces that for all of the elected officials?
No, for all of the elected officials and employees of Greenwich Township,
Effective?
February 1st.
Okay.
No.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Comment. Roll call.
Bayleaf, Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Polari?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes.
Now, when you say all employees, I mean, we see how John Howe doesn't have a computer here at the, here.
John Howell's gonna have to.
But he has one at his house, and we
Yeah.
use
No,
that
no,
John
we're gonna-
Terry
we're
thing. We're
going-
gonna have to
he's
set
going to
something
have
up for
to.
him.
He's gonna have to.
It's going to be...
Okay.
It's our requirement.
Okay.
I can't not communicate to
And then,
a DP, the head of DPW
I
through
did set
email.
like Joe Mexi up at oem@greenwichtownship.org. He's got that, and, all the other things.
Yeah.
Set them up.
Go ahead. Have it, he set that one.
So,
Mine?
No one looks-
I thought it was me.
okay, that's, go ahead.
Okay, mine has the pay-to-play, topic. And my topic is basically, for Frank Tadeo to review, businesses in town, actually, submitting in, whether they're donating to the township for food or whatever. If there's a more constructive, more policy-driven way to donate to township employees, it should really be more of the town itself. So I'm hoping that we can develop a policy that isn't offensive to them and maybe can give them the opportunity to donate to Community Day in a way of fireworks or in a way of something rather than flushing out this, luncheons for this or this for that. And it can kind of like work together in tandem with making Community Day the way that they do all of their donating. So I don't know, we'll see how that works.
Do you understand the issue, Frank?
Yes, they're basically donating to certain, I don't know if it's everybody or certain groups during the year.
Yes.
Correct.
And in various amounts, in either time or goods or services, whatever it is.
Right.
And what the
they're doing
shame of
that-
it all is, Frank, there's so much waste.
Right.
Yeah, the intent's good, but, we have some problems with, because we're a government entity, we shouldn't be accepting those things, as nice as the intent is. But, to the extent that we can do it in a way that benefits every resident versus, I don't even know if that's legal, but I think that's really what Elaine's getting at. If ShopRite, instead of them sending turkey platters 3 or 4 times a year, which we know violates the law,
It's under the ethics law.
that under the ethics law, that, if they want to sponsor a fireworks event or be a partner
Be one of the
for
sponsors, yeah.
Community Day, maybe that's a way that they could say thank you to the town or whatever, or show support, and we can accept it without running afoul. So,
Okay.
The other issue, Frank, real quick, is we have appointments that are on an annual basis that receive a salary.
Right.
My request is to either put in by ordinance or by resolution, however you think is the best way to do it, that they are a 12-month payroll.
When you say 12-month payroll, they're only 1-year positions, and this is what
It would be
is.
preferred that they're paid out over a 12-month period. We have several positions that may, because of school, be paid out over a 9-month period.
Oh, I see.
We
They're
need
treated
to
more
weigh
like,
that,
because
yeah.
teachers are paid 9 months instead of 12 out of the year. They don't get paid during the summer.
Right, so we have some positions that fall under that category. We
Right.
should look at the pros and cons of that and maybe talk about that more on the 16th
Okay.
for discussion moving
Sure.
forward.
Are we talking, I know we're talking about crossing guard generally. Who else would fall into that
I
category?
think that might be it, and I don't mean to target them, it's just that we should have a policy paying out 12 months for appointments, because they're annual appointments.
right.
Okay.
And then we get into issues of unemployment and everything else,
Yep.
so.
Well, why don't we look into appointing them for the school year? Instead of doing it for 12 months, doing it from September until June or whatever it is.
But then does that trigger our obligation to pay unemployment benefits?
Because we have in the past, which we didn't know about.
Okay. All right. I know that generally crossing guards are always paid, just like the school teachers, they're always paid 9 months instead
True,
of 12,
but-
even though they're 12-month appointments.
But do you know if crossing guards also apply for unemployment during those 3 months?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I'm...
But I think I remember having one that was an issue a couple of years ago. I'm trying to remember where it was, but I remember crossing guard came
Okay,
up as
when
an
you're
issue.
sleeping at night, you'll remember.
Yeah.
So you just break out their pay for 12 months.
Yeah, well, that's Elaine's thinking, is if you break it out for payment over 12 months, then that definitively resolves the unemployment issue.
Well, could we find something for them to do in the summertime that would justify paying them for 12 months?
No,
No.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. Something we can football around.
I don't know, that's a good question, but think about it.
And I have one more item on policies for social media and stuff. We're developing that.
Yeah.
Can we develop something that, we're doing videotaping and voiceover and all of that, and it started in 2013. I worked on it in 2012. I want to develop it so that we don't have meetings where the tape recorder may not be going, and we know that everything is working, and I want to feel like we're doing everything we promised the residents that we started doing. I don't want there to be any blips in the screen. So can there be a policy on that of some sort?
Well, that's really, I mean, that's really, it's in addition to what's required legally, I mean, that's really just something you're doing above and beyond for the residents.
Exactly.
But if that's going to be our policy, that's our policy. I mean, we don't have to, I don't think you have to do anything other than continue doing what you're doing. If you want to put together a resolution saying that, this is what we've endeavored to do on behalf of the residents, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't think you need to do anything, legal, though. I think if you
Yeah,
really
okay, so you
what you're
think,
doing,
you think a resolution would be in order. So we can talk about that more on the 16th?
But I actually pulled together some things. I know Brent was working on a social media policy, so I have his stuff, and I have some of my other stuff that I reviewed for what's going on at the county level with social media policy. So I have that stuff all together. I've been pulling together now for a couple of weeks. So.
Terrific.
Now, I guess, finally, the one thing that really isn't conspicuously on the agenda, which to me is really the main reason for us being here tonight, is, I don't know if we need to authorize the Finance Committee to, right? I would like to call for a motion, and then we can discuss it, call for a motion authorizing the Finance Committee to begin in earnest gathering all critical information, working with the CFO and the auditor to identify, to establish a budget for 2014 that will be tax neutral, and to identify any and all necessary areas of savings and/or reductions, whatever required, to close the budget gap that was handed to us from last year's Township Committee.
I had that prepared. Do you want to go through the other things, or just the motion and
Just the motion.
Just the motion to move forward? Okay, I'll make that motion.
Oh, I'll second.
Comment. Roll call.
Bailey's?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Fleury?
Yes.
Trio?
Yes. Does anybody have anything else they want to add? Jim, did you feel there was something that you wanted to add to that?
I don't know if you wanted to get in, I think we can save the rest of this for the meeting on the 16th.
Right, and then you can come back with whatever it is that you guys feel...
We'll begin to start coming back
Right.
with some recommendations.
Right. You won't be finished by the 16th?
No.
Can I, maybe sit with you or,
I had something.
someone here? I'm gonna get Gramco up here, because what we did is, we purchased this for the court. It's, because Gramco is contract-approved state vendor for the court system. Gramco is the vendor. We purchased this for our recording and things like that. The audio itself was an add-on thing. We're having a situation, I think, with the system per se, with the capacity for doing, and I think that's why we're shutting down and things like that. I'm going to have them come in, and I know you're having Jeff Jewell come to see about having this upgraded a little bit so that, because we're running it too tight, and I
So what
think
we were,
that's...
and I didn't want to expand too much, but we're going to start with the technology assessment. To understand where we are today,
Yeah.
what is the impact of a paperless environment, what are our expansion needs? Do we want to host that here? Do we want to host it elsewhere? Go through all the options, and that, I took it from that last motion, that's what we're going to kick off with Jeff Jewell, and,
Hopefully we'll have some
Gramco.
recommendations for the 16th.
yeah. Hopefully we'll have something, not everything, but it will be the beginning of where we need to go
Yeah,
with
because I mean,
technology
yesterday
in
it kept
general
shutting
here.
off. I turned and I said to
Mhm.
Frank, I
Well,
don't see anything moving here, and
You've got
went
this
off.
system, you've got the copier system, which we, did it, and we did all...
But you didn't say anything yesterday, why don't you stop it?
No, I jumped up and I got it going.
Oh.
But we cut and pasted the current technology
Yeah.
just to get by. It's time for us to reassess, and that's where we need to go.
Mhm. So that's what I took that motion to mean.
Good.
Angelo, did you...
Yeah, I
I don't know if you opened the email that I sent you about the LSI contract. Take a look at to see if their contract was better than the one from Excel. I sent it to you and also to Frank.
I got it. Kim, do you have the contract that we had for 2013?
Which one? That,
Was it for the phone system, Angela?
We don't have one, do we?
No, this is a new vendor.
This is the one Lorraine recommended.
There's two vendors that we looked at. One was Excel, which Joe didn't think much of the contract. So this is another vendor which hopefully has a better contract, which is will meet our needs. There's a $6,000 savings a year on the phone systems, which is nothing to sneeze at. And in talking to the rep, she seemed to think that if we needed some changes, that they might be amenable. So if you could take a look at that and her numbers on there, if there's anything that you need to change.
Well, I think that this will all be part of the technology assessment that Jim was talking about. We'll lump in the phone system with the computer. I think it all goes hand in
Yeah, if
glove.
you want to forward that to Angela, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Make sure it
But
gets in.
contractually, he wants to review.
If that's Jim, obviously, I didn't, I figured I'd send it to you two guys, since
Yep.
you're the legal guys.
Yep. Yeah, no, Frank definitely needs to see it too, but send it along to Jim too, Angela, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll send it to Jim.
Anybody have any other items before we close this meeting down and get everybody home as safely as possible in the snow?
No.
Nothing? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Comment?
oh, we do.
Oh, Amy, we do have somebody here. You know what?
She wants to talk.
Do you want to talk?
Could you just come up here to the front?
You
If
do?
could just come right up here to the front.
A motion to open up for public comment.
Yes.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. This is the first time you're speaking, I think.
No, this is, no.
She's like, no.
It's not coming up
You may have
there.
announced this, I would like to just ask in case I did miss it, the temporary tax collector assignment of one?
We discussed that before.
Okay, so.
You missed it.
I missed it.
We're going out for temporary, to a temporary agency at this point and seeing what we can get. We're still feeling around. We're doing our best, and hopefully before the 16th, we'll be able to have some recommendations.
And we were working on doing a shared service, and I got bad news today that the one I was hoping to land, it's not going to work out. So that's why we're going to go to the temporary for now.
Okay?
I mean, you're doing okay, right? I mean, is there any issues like right now?
Well, there's going to be year-end issues that need to be addressed. I'm a tax collector, so
Yep.
there's a lot of things that need to be tied up to the levy, a lot of which I did last year, which really I was not authorized to do. So it concerns me that that's here, and
Yes.
it's upon
And
us. There's a lot of year-end reports
Yep.
that need to be completed. And I think it's a double check. Since I've taken the money, I shouldn't be the one to double check it.
You're absolutely correct.
Someone else should be checking those numbers, just to make sure
Yep.
all is above.
But
You're right.
you'll be able to work with a temporary person from the service that may come in to help them.
Sure,
Is that
of
up to
course,
speed?
but I don't have, obviously, any signatures.
Right. Today.
Ordinance will say
She didn't call me back.
anything that needs to go out of the
Right.
building.
Okay.
So I don't know if if I'm authorized to use that stamp still, or
No.
we can take that off record. I
No,
don't know.
No.
we can't use it. What we should do is authorize Joe, if we come across somebody, to authorize Joe to look at hiring them temporarily, so
Right.
that we have somebody in place.
You mean without a special meeting?
We're
Yeah,
not supposed to
yeah.
be-
Yeah, we should,
Yeah, let's do that because
we
you'll
need
be
to
able
get, we need to get away with these special meetings.
Yeah.
We're not doing
All right,
temporary
so-
too.
I have a legal request right now. we usually work
So make
on.
the-
Everything is on a temporary basis, so...
You wanna make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
And when we come out of public comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Is there any
Motion to close public comment?
Make the motion.
motion? Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Is there any reason why we can't ask our auditor if they have a service to provide us with a tax collector?
I think I've done that already.
Have you?
Yeah, so let's authorize Joe to move forward with, if there's any temporary that, folks that come up that meet our minimum requirements of tax collector, that we authorize Joe to, put them in place, and everything is temporary until we come to some sort of agreement. They may wind up being full-time, or not full-time, but they may wind up being our tax collector, but in the meantime, we definitely need to work on it. Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Or Jim will second it.
I'll second it. Authorizing Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll
Oh,
call.
that was it, yeah.
Baylees?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Miliani?
Yes.
Colari?
Yes.
Torriello?
Yes. Anything else? Seeing no hands, a motion to close?
Make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Get home safe, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Drive
Good night,
Angel.
thanks, Angelo.
Good night, Frank.